Hello again. Still Saturday, July 4th, 2026. Curtis Herman in Niagara, Oklahoma. This is the second video. I've just made a long video kind of talking about the controller I'm working on. And again, I am making this as much as anything for myself for future reference when I look back and try to remember what I've done. Also maybe my son Samuel or anybody else that might be working on this in the future might refer back to it. I have just finished cleaning everything out. I explained in the last video the troubleshooting process we went through. We lost the Y-axis motor. It wasn't energizing. We assumed it was the Gecko driver. We replaced it. It did not fix it. Samuel tried a test of swapping the DC supply that came to the Easy Stepper. That seemed to fix it. We thought we would find it in the output to that one. When we got down in the bottom of the control box, we found that the UDCM, the Universal DC module, the outputs to all of the Geckos are common. This is the positive row, that's the negative row, but they're all common. So in other words, there wasn't a specific output for the Y-axis and another for the, and so anyway, that brought it down. We found burnt resistors on the UDCM. This is the new board. These aren't burnt. The old board is out here. You can see that they're kind of charred. There's some heat signature on the side of that fuse block on the bottom of the board. And I have ordered a brand new board and replaced it. This board over here, I have learned, is the UACM, the Universal AC module. AC comes in, inputting power comes down into here. There is one separate feed that goes out to feed this small transformer that outputs a couple of 6-volt outputs to here, and back in here's the toroidal transformer, which goes back, and it's bringing out, and here is the output of the transformer going to the input of the Universal DC controller module. And that AC is going to get transformed into DC. Down here on the bottom is the full wave bridge rectifier down there, and it's kicking it out. And you know, this is the same board. And what I learned was, it was interesting, not really surprising, but when I first turned it on, powered up, I wanted to test the output of the transformer. Then I wanted to test the output of the UDCM board. Well, the output was 0. And if you're familiar with setting this up, you know that when you first turn it on, I'll turn it off. Just give it a couple of seconds. I'll turn it back on, and it's off, standby, red. The drives are off. And if I was to check with my meter, the voltage right there would say 0. But when I press the green button, then it's going to go to ready. And that relay is going to click on and supply power to, it's supplying power to, and so now I have power over here. You see the LED came on. Now if I would check there with my meter, I would have 50.4 volts AC. And then I switch to DC and I have 70 volts output. And of course, nothing is connected to it. I wanted to check the output before it was loaded up. And I was going to just check for anything heating up, any resistors heating up, anything that just didn't seem right. And I've let this actually run now for several minutes, and I just wanted to observe and watch, make sure I didn't have any other failing components, check my input and output voltages, which I have done. And I am just making this video for informational purposes.